On the subject of specs, I think it's a very good chance that a decent chunk of the people who are going to be applying for this alpha have come from Factorio. And Factorio isn't a very demanding game on your computers.
Depending on what you do.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very well optimized game and it's not got 3D graphics, so it does hold up pretty well even on a toaster.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, depending on your toaster, actually, because while it's not demanding on your graphics card, it is very demanding on your CPU.
Yeah.
So it is one of the few games I know that tax your CPU and your memory.
Yeah.
Actually, to that an incredible amount.
Yeah, just the sheer scale of that.
Exactly. Then there are massive discussions in forums about how you can optimize so to not use belts and use undergrounds because it doesn't show as much and blah, blah, blah. So many things that you can do to increase your performance. But Satisfactory is going to be a 3D game and a lot more of it are not going to be on screen.
Yes, they have released minimum system requirements.
Yes, and they've even had some discussion on Discord about a guy who said, I have a GTX 770. What will that be like? And they said, that's mid-range. So if a GTX 770 is mid-range, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a pretty game, but it doesn't look like, the graphics are next-gen, if you know what I mean. The graphics look great, but looking at them, I don't think they're going to be the ridiculous, super demanding kind.
No. I think they've stricken a very nice balance between realistic graphics and cut-down version, what I call cartoon graphics, like TF2 and Warcraft to an extent, is not designed to be pretty. It's designed to be pretty enough.
Yeah, stylized as opposed to realistic. Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Satisfactory is on a scale between real graphics and ray-traced graphics even, now that that's a buzzword, and stylized graphics.
Well, now that you've used that buzzword, I feel fine about filling the tags and video description with ray-traced graphics, hashtag.
Oh my god, Factorio with RTX!
Yeah.
Come see it!
But yeah, I think you've made some good assumptions about the specs, because looking at these graphics, GTX 660, 2GB, which isn't amazing, is what they're saying is the minimum. But the processor, it is only an i5, but that is a modern 4-core processor they're suggesting.
Exactly.
Memory, 8GB RAM. That's not stunning now.
Any gaming laptop will have 8 minimum.
That leads us to the assumption that it's not going to be a very memory-intensive game, or a graphics-intensive game for a modern game. But the CPU they're recommending is a modern one.
Yes, and that I think is exactly how everybody imagines it to be.
Yeah.
Specifically, as I said, the Factory will not stall if you don't see it. Which was weird for me. Why would they say that? Who expected your factory not to work if you don't see it? Is that like if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
It's a fair enough question for people to ask if people have come from modded Minecraft. Because obviously Minecraft has that chunk system, so anything that's not near you doesn't run. And there are lots of mods for Minecraft that do sort of factory stuff along the lines of this. So I guess that is a valid question to answer for people who haven't played that many games in the genre.
Okay. Considering that it will run if you don't see it, then high CPU does make sense.
Yes, that is true. How many types of assembler are there in Factorio? Is it 3 or 4?
3. Level 1, level 2, the grey, the blue, and the yellow.
My girlfriend is making a 3 sign at me from...
Well, then are we considering the assemblers to be multiples of that? Because we also have assemblers that take in pipes, and that's a different model. So is that 6?
That's true. But, I mean, they are the same assembler, essentially, aren't they? You just plug a pipe into it. Let's not get onto pipes.
No. Or let's. I don't know.
Well, I think that avenue has been explored now, hasn't it?
Yeah, never mind that. We'll scrap it from that.
We do know that we know that Satisfactory does have 3 different crafting buildings. There's space for complexity there.
Yeah, no, I did take the piss out of them in one of my videos for saying that the ratio offered of 3:2 is not really anything that complex, and I do get it.
That,
I do get it. That was not gonna be all there was.
Yeah, that was one example.
Yeah, that didn't come out in my own video. I do apologize if anybody took offense to that. But I do expect them to know exactly that we need more complexity than that, and they have planned more complexity than that. The alpha is staged, so we're not going to get end tier tech.
Yeah, exactly. We won't find out in the alpha, I imagine, though we might be able to see some of the tech that's not available in it, but they have said part of the reason they aren't unlocking everything is so that they've still got some surprises for us later.
Which makes sense. Really, it does.
Yeah, personally, I mean, you can tell by the fact that I love making these videos that I love a nice surprise and secrets to dig up, and...
Of course. Which also may indicate that the alpha will not have a specific NDA, and people might be allowed to make videos of the alpha.
That is possible. I kind of feel like, as we were discussing earlier about who will be eligible to be in the alpha, I was kind of concerned that because I've been covering the game, if they do have it under NDA, I won't get an invite.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what? I would sacrifice being able to speak about the game to be able to play about the game. I'd be happy.
Yeah, it's true. And then we've got, in the background of that shot on the right, you've got the kind of orange tree. I find that kind of interesting, where it's got the leaves with the holes in.
Yeah, which I don't even understand the nature of that thing. Why would it not have leaves? Why would it have these things like that? They look heavy for one.
I think they've just gone with something that looks cool and alien.
Could be. I wouldn't, I'm the kind of guy who would go into a meeting and say, okay, show me what plans you have for me today. And then see those and say, okay, how does that feed itself? What does it take for food? How does it support itself? What's it made of? What's its enemies? And everybody would be, you're insane. Leave us alone. It's just cool.
You would be the writer on the team, let's face it.
Probably, yeah.
Hello, viewer. It's Mug, off the interweb, and I've been meaning to have a word with you. As you can see, I've been taking this YouTube business a lot more seriously lately, and I want to make more content for you all. I need your opinion on what that content should be, so I make something you actually want to watch. First off, just some reassurance, the Satisfactory content isn't going anywhere and will remain my primary focus at all times, but I want to try new stuff. So, if you can respond to the polls as they appear and write something in the comments with your thoughts, that would be extremely helpful to me as I continue on this YouTuberous journey. You've probably seen I've been putting out some Factory Town content, or at least I hope you have. Do you Satisfactory people actually want to see that? And other content on Factory games? Or are you just here for the Satisfactory news? Then, assuming if I get into the Satisfactory Alpha and I'm allowed to show you it, what sort of stuff do you want to see on that? Do you want to see Let's Plays? Do you want to see tutorials? That's what I'm leaning towards, but I'd like to know. Maybe a bit of both? And then I've got one other idea for content, and I'm going to say the M word now, so forgive me. Back in the day, I used to play this little indie game called Minecraft, and I used to make these command block mods for it that were quite elaborate and drastically changed the game. I've recently seen that, while I've not been playing for a year or two, they've released an update that massively increases what you can do with such command blocky creations. I've been wanting to dive back in and try and build a few things I've really wanted to do, and maybe I could document that on here for you guys. So the first idea I have for that is the idea of moving vehicles made of blocks, which has been tried many times but has never been done in a way I've found satisfactory, if you pardon the pun. So with the new features, I think that's actually very doable, and I'd love to have a crack at it. The other idea I have is something I've done in the past, but not as well as I could. A huge mobs and dungeons and combat overhaul for the whole game. So it'll give you more dungeons to explore, loot to find, more challenging things to do. So all of that would be within vanilla Minecraft, which I think is quite cool, and is something I enjoy fiddling with. So I would love to potentially document that for you. But tell me if you think that doing something in Minecraft is the worst idea you ever heard. And yeah, that about wraps this up. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I also, regrettably, have to nag you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I need to get my subs up to the point that I can monetize, which would be excellent because it means I can spend a lot more time on this, which I would love to do, and hopefully you would love to see more of my content. Until then, I've been Mug, your favourite award-winning video game nerd, and I'll see you in whatever comes next.